It is the year 1791 in the bustling district of London. Among the noise of horse-drawn carriages and the calls of merchants, a child is born who will one day be known as a man far ahead of his time. His name is Charles Babbage. No one could have imagined then that this boy would one day conceive a machine so revolutionary. It would lay the foundation for the very devices you're using to watch this video right now. Charles grew up in a world of industrial change. Steam engines roared in factories, textile mills churned day and night, and new ideas were transforming Britain into a global powerhouse. His father, Benjamin Babbage, was a wealthy banker who gave young Charles the best education money could buy. But little did anyone know, Charles was not like other children. He was endlessly curious, spending hours dismantling toys just to see how they worked. Numbers fascinated him, puzzles intrigued him, and by the age of 16, he was already reading advanced mathematics far beyond the school syllabus. In 1810, Charles entered the prestigious Trinity College, Cambridge. At first, he was disappointed. The mathematics taught there seemed outdated and stale compared to the advanced works he had already studied. But instead of complaining, Charles found a group of like-minded students and formed what they called the Analytical Society. Their goal: to modernize British mathematics and introduce new continental methods that were being ignored in England. This was one of the first signs of a pattern that would define his life. When he saw something broken, he wanted to fix it. After graduating, Babbage was appointed as a professor at Cambridge. But teaching was only a small part of his ambitions. In the early 1820s, he began thinking about one of the biggest problems in mathematics at the time: human error in calculations. In those days, mathematical tables were calculated by hand, by people called computers, and these tables were essential for navigation, astronomy, engineering, and finance. A single error could lead to catastrophic mistakes: ships going off course, bridges collapsing, investments failing. Charles believed that machines could do better, faster, more accurately, and tirelessly. It was in 1822 that Charles Babbage unveiled his idea for what he called the difference engine. This machine, if built, would automatically calculate and print mathematical tables without human error. Imagine, in a time when even adding large numbers could take hours by hand, a device that could handle calculations perfectly in seconds. The British government was intrigued and granted Babbage funds to build it. But here's where the story takes a turn. The engineering of such a machine was incredibly complex, requiring precision metalwork that was almost unheard of at the time. Costs soared, deadlines slipped, and disagreements with his chief engineer slowed progress. Babbage was a genius with numbers, but he struggled with managing people and budgets. By 1833, the government had already spent a fortune, yet the machine was still incomplete. Instead of finishing the difference engine, Babbage's mind leapt ahead to something even more ambitious: the analytical engine. This was not just a calculator. It was a general-purpose machine that could be programmed to perform any calculation, the very concept of a computer, 100 years before the first modern ones were built. The design included a mill-like a CPU, a store-like memory, and punch cards for input. Ideas that sound eerily familiar to anyone who knows computers today. Around this time, Babbage met a remarkable young mathematician named Ada Lovelace, the daughter of the famous poet Lord Byron. Ada was captivated by the analytical engine's potential. She translated and expanded on a paper about the machine, adding her own detailed notes. These notes included the first algorithm intended to be executed by a machine, making Ada Lovelace the world's first computer programmer. Together, Babbage and Ada dreamed of a future where machines could handle complex tasks, far beyond simple number crunching. But once again, reality struck. The government had lost patience. Funding was withdrawn, critics mocked him, and many considered Babbage an eccentric dreamer. His inventions were so far ahead of their time that most people couldn't even understand them. Frustrated, Charles spent much of his later life working on other projects, from code breaking to designing the first speedometer for trains. but he never saw his great engines completed. When Charles Babbage died in 1871, his ideas seemed to fade into obscurity. The machines he envisioned were never fully built in his lifetime. Yet, decades later, scientists and engineers rediscovered his designs and were astonished at their brilliance. In the 1990s, the Science Museum in London finally constructed a working model of the difference engine, based on Babbage's original plans. It worked perfectly, proving that his vision had been right all along. Today, Charles Babbage is celebrated as a true pioneer, the man who imagined the computer long before technology could make it real. His legacy reminds us that innovation often means thinking far ahead of your time, even if the world ain't ready for your ideas. Before you go, if you enjoyed learning about this incredible mind, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss more amazing stories from history. And remember, every piece of technology we have today stands on the shoulders of visionaries like Charles Babbage, who dared to dream of the impossible.